Hey guys, it's Mitch. How's it going? All right, so we're taking a look today at Blood Force number 4, page 6. We're continuing the big old fight between Hawkstab and Knife. Just before we get into it, if you enjoy the channel, if you feel like you might want to help out a little bit, go subscribe to my Patreon. Links are in the description. So I'm messing around an awful lot with the page design on this one, actually. I'm trying to get stuff to be more dynamic, because that's just always the concern. And it's always like the last thing I think about. And by last thing, I mean usually after I've inked everything, a lot of the time anyway. So on this one, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get a bit more platty with the panel design, trying to get, tilting the panels to try and get like a feeling of momentum going. And I think it actually really worked on this page. So, for instance, this is going to be like, just a few quick hits from Hawkstab to Knife here. Knife really is just absolutely useless. I don't think he got like a single clean hit in this entire fight. There's kind of the one mixed clash on page 5 just before this. And aside from that, he just kind of gets his ass kicked. He is reeling, as you can see in panel 1 here, from the horrifying realization that Hawkstab was born with the blades on his arms. So, he's just thinking about Hawkstab's poor mother, I'm sure. So maybe he can't, it's not quite a fair fight. He can't defend himself correctly. But yeah, so for this shot here with Hawkstab smacking Knife in the mouth. Nice shines on that forearm, actually. That's all right. So by tilting the shots, this particular shot, down and to the right here, it does feel like a downhill punch more, which I like. This might be kind of my first time trying that, I think. And making sure to get all those veins in there. Those veins look pretty good, actually. And you know what? I'm probably going to say that a fair bit on this page. I really like how this page turned out. For the most part. There's always something where it's like, didn't quite work. But it's kind of few and far between on this one. Like everything with Hawkstab here looks pretty great. Maybe the arm's a bit short. See, I can always find something. It's not that difficult. I like Knife's expression here quite a bit. There's a bit of a... it feels a little bit like the mustache hides a bit of that lip flying out. But, I mean, you get the gist pretty clearly, I think. And... Oh, so I whited it out, eh? Okay, I'm guessing I'm... Oh, that does actually clarify things. All right, good job. And... And this one here, I think, really kind of sells the whole thing, because this is Knife hitting the floor. But I kind of, doing it as a triangle, for one thing, it's kind of economical. Like, it really kind of uses the whole panel for the shot. But by inclining the bottom of the panel slightly up and to the right, it again feels like it gives it that added impact. Or at least that's what I'm hoping. I'm pretty sure that's what it does. If it turns out, no, it actually does the opposite. Like, maybe tell me, and then I won't do that next time. And of course, got to get the speed lines going. Yeah, that looks pretty sick. And the big shot of, well, big being kind of relative, but the shot of Hawkstab here, just delivering a flying kick to Knife. And for that one, panel goes small to big and kind of opens up, which I'm doing a little bit from time to time here. I think it kind of works to just kind of show like impact flying out, that kind of thing. And I like the pose we came up with here for Hawkstab. Again, always trying to come up with a good twist to a character when he's delivering like a hit of some kind. Oh, and got some spray going on Knife in the third panel there, which looks pretty good. We're using the spray pretty liberally on these last couple of pages, and there hasn't been a time, I think, where it's looked inappropriate. So that's good stuff. And yeah, no, I like everything about this pose here. Even managed to get the proportions right, which I don't always. I often make the heads at least a little too big, meaning actually proportionate to the bodies. Nobody wants that. You need heads to be a little bit too small so that they make the bodies look gigantic. That's, I guess, the point. Oh, and I think I drew the armbands around Knife's shoulders instead of arms there. Okay, so had to fix that. Knife doesn't look too bad. For a guy just getting, kicked in the face, looks all right. Nothing, he's not like flying back, which would probably be preferable, but one of the fun kind of effects of this was that, I drew his swords flying out of his hands, and then I think somebody in the chat suggested drawing more blades flying off him, because he's got like a good 2 or 3 dozen blades strapped to him. So it's just like, yeah, you know what? He's going to lose more blades. Why not? So, got to get more swords. Yep. Maybe it was just my idea. I don't remember now. Yep. More knives, a couple shuriken, another blade. Just, yeah, somebody suggested the Bowie knife. That was it. And so, yeah, it kind of looks like that. So, I like the fact that the idea that every time you hit knife, blades just kind of spring up out of him like loot. This shot here on knife, yeah, it's okay. I don't know. I feel like I kind of got away from what his face should look like over the course of this. So, but this one ended up looking okay. It's kind of a typical face for me, really. But yeah, all right. But that's the top half done, and then we get like the easiest fucking shot in the world of Hawkstab's face here, where it's just the eye and part of the nose. It's like, man, I literally spent like entire days drawing this shot from, with just over and over and over again. It's like, yeah, I think I can handle this. And get some more lines in there. Always more lines. If you got white space, you're not doing it right. More line, more. There you go. That's what we're talking about. That looks quite a bit better. Okay, good. I was a bit afraid I had forgotten to put in more lines, so I'm glad to see that I lived up to my own teachings there. That's important. And now we get the big kind of square off shot. You know what? There's really no big shots in this particular page, but they I think they all still feel like they've got their own weight. That's good. Speaking of their own weight, man, does this the back of Hawkstab's legs here? Man, do those things look fucking thick. They're fucking redwoods. And I feel like I positioned them a bit too closely together and didn't think about that. So that's probably the main thing on this page, really. And I mean, ultimately, it's fine. The legs look pretty good. They're, like I said, a bit too solid, maybe. Those some thick legs. But, it would be nice to get them a bit wider to get more of a hero pose. You might have to get a little bit of, like, what is it, The Spy Who Loved Me or something? Where you just got the legs spread wide while gun show is in the middle of them. So I don't know that works too well. So maybe this worked out okay. I do like the proportions on gun show here. Look how tiny that head is compared to the body. That's kind of perfect, really. And, decent posture. That it doesn't look like ramrod straight. He looks, he's got like a smirk going on, and his body looks a little smirky, the way he's like tilting his head and shit. And he doesn't, he looks like he's fairly settled and everything. Yeah, I like how that pose turned out. That's okay. Oh, I don't think I use those boots again. I should use those boots again. I've drawn his boots a couple of times since here. I forgot all about these, whatever the fuck those are. Those look all right. And I've been saying how Gun Show's costume doesn't look elaborate enough. Yeah, I've got to get those boots in there. And of course, got his braid because he's making fun of whatever that Shadowhawk character was, who was meant to be making fun of other Image characters, I'm quite sure. But it's like, no. This is how you make fun of Image characters. I feel like, I don't know, maybe Val was not quite operating from the correct perspective on that one. It's like, here, I think you missed a couple of things. And then just very, very basic backgrounds, because there's actually going to be still a fair amount of dialogue covering stuff up on this page. or on that particular panel anyway. There's every page I do, there's more dialogue than I thought there was. But we're figuring it out, or we're not, and it's just going to cramp everything. And then that'll just be the Blood Force way. There's probably cool art under there somewhere. That'll be my masthead slogan. But anyway, yeah, that is page 6. Like I said, pretty good page overall. Very little I think I'd change about that one. And next page is going to be the big flex page. That'll be a fun one to get to. Anyway, that'll do it for this one. So thanks very much for watching, guys. If you like this video, please hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notifications so you know when the next one's coming out. Go over and subscribe on my Patreon. It gives you early access to everything I do, from the Blood Force stuff to the YouTube videos before they get uploaded to YouTube, as well as some Patreon exclusive content. You can also follow me on Instagram and DM me there for commissions, and you can join the Blood Force Discord server. I don't know if you can hear me bobbing my head with every pause I take, but it is happening, just to let you know. Anyway, that's going to do it. Thanks again, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.